Sadham aloha, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. Let me just get the comments up. And please put down your profile and your human design type if you know it, and then your astrology too, if you want to. Okay, good. We've got some comments here. And hopefully my sound is okay. Let me know. The last video, it sounded like my gain was up a little bit. My voice was a bit distorted, I noticed. I'm very attuned to sound. And that fits with actually what I want to talk to today. And maybe you're like that too. There's certain people that you can't listen to. That happens to me a lot. Like I know they've got great content, but I just can't listen to them. There's a grating on my energy. So it's a sign that they're not for me. Okay, great. Thank you. Sound is great. Okay, so today I want to talk about the new moon as it applies to 2027. So the big, huge solar plexus mutation is happening in 2027, and this is another sign that this divine is preparing us for this huge shift in energy that's going to, it's already on the planet, but it's going to be like full on in 2027. So if you're new to human design, always go into the information box and get your free chart. Okay, you don't have to leave your email or anything like that. You can just get it unscathed, and it's a good idea to have your loved ones' charts too, so you can help them, educate them as we navigate through these tumultuous times. And I feel like this week was a real wake-up call for a lot of people, and they realized that, hey, there's nobody driving the bus, basically, right? There's no real leadership on this planet, not the way that we're used to, and this is the cross of planning that's breaking down. So you're probably familiar with this chart that I put up quite a bit. And so just to remind you that we're going through a huge 400-year global cycle, okay, called the Cross of Planning, and this is coming to an end in 2027. And then we're moving into the Cross of the Sleeping Phoenix. So that all the institutions, all the structures, these supports that have kept civilization kind of propped up and working like clockwork, that's all coming to an end. And this is the divine plan. So we're seeing that out in the world. So this is a good idea now to prepare yourself with knowledge, right? Human design gives you knowledge, but more importantly, it gives you a strategy and an authority to make your own decisions, right? So this is not about giving your power over to external authorities now. Okay, so if we go back to this is the new moon chart right here, the new moon transit chart. Okay, so let me know if you've got the 39 natally. Okay, so there's the moon, the 39.6, and the sun and the moon make it a new moon. So there's the 39 down here. And so this is the root chakra, right? The bottom. So this is a pressure. And so what is the pressure for this 39? It's to look to this 55. So it's the gate of provocation. Provoking, right? Poking. So what's it poking? It's poking the other. The 55 is the other person. Poking their emotions, right? Their emotions, triggering them. Basically, this is triggering another person. And this is not conscious. This is just happening at the auric level. Triggering the other person to determine if they have the right spirit, right? They have the right spirit for you. So that's how it works personally. So impersonally, this has the 39 has a huge part to play in the solar plexus mutation, right? The solar plexus mutation that's coming in 2027. So this is our emotional awareness right here. But right now it's a motor. Okay? Right now, presently it's a motor. So it has been like that for the last 400 years. Well, less than that, because we turned from 7-centered being into 9-centered being in 1781. But the motor, right? This is our emotional wave. That's the motor. So some people have it colored in and some people have it open. So this motor is going through a huge mutation right now through this 55, right? And so the motor is transmuting into an awareness center, So this means our awareness is how we perceive reality. It's how we experience reality. It's moving from a mental awareness system. This is experiencing life only through our mind and our 5 senses in our body. And then it's moving into this new awareness system. And this is spirit awareness. So the children born after 2027 and onward are already going to have this mutated, right? So we kind of have to catch up. And of course, not everyone is on this road, on this path, and you can see it right now. There's a bifurcation of consciousness. Some people are choosing to stick to the old ways, right? Their old ways of being, and then some are doing their inner work, their shadow work. They're committed to their spiritual journey, basically, right? This is so this is catch up for these people, right? Is to kind of catch up and go and use this energy so that we can thrive into this new age. Because the old human is going. The old human that we've known for the thousands of years is going, right? Going. And this new species is coming for 2027. So the program, the divine plan, is supporting this new species. It's pulling away the support of the old human and moving it into the new species. So I'm going to talk more in depth about this in my retreat. I don't have the time here to do that on this YouTube channel. But what I want to just convey to you is that there's huge changes afoot, and it's time to let go of your old ways of being. It's time to let go of your ego, right? The solar plexus mutation is really about an ego death. This is the dark night of the soul, So the 39 is provoking this 55, and the 55 is a huge part of this mutation that's happening. So the 39 is connected. Let's look to the tarot. I'm just going to jump around here. The 39 is connected to the tarot card, and somebody asked me, "How do you get the tarot card with the gates?" It's according to the decans, right? So every gate. Right, every gate here. I don't have the mandala, do I? No, I didn't grab that slide. So there's 12 zodiac signs, right? 12 zodiac signs. So within each zodiac sign, there's about, how many? 6? I got my wheel right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About 6 gates, right? 6 gates per zodiac sign. So then that's divided up, right? Because you've got 30 degrees for each zodiac sign in the mandala, and then the 30 is divided up, right? Divided up. So the gate falls into a certain degree. So this is decans, right? So I work with decans, and then the decan correlates to the tarot card. So they're not picked intuitively. There's a whole system around this. Okay, so the 3 of Cups. So the 3 of Cups is friendship, right? Gathering, celebration, right? Connected to the 39, the 3 of Cups. But let's look at it differently. Is what else it's telling us here is the 3 of Cups is Mercury. Let me see, where is it? It's Mercury in Cancer, right? So even the tarot is linked to astrology. So Mercury in Cancer, right, for this new moon. And so we look at Mercury, we look at the major arcana, and this gives us even way more information about another perspective on the energy. So that's the the magician or the magus, right? And the chariot. So this is also saying, right, the Three of Cups on the surface level, but let's go deeper, right? Let's go deeper. And this is saying that you have everything that you need. The magician has everything he needs, right? All the elements are there. You have everything that you need. And the chariot is about busting through blocks, right? So this totally fits with the 39, right? The chariot is about, I have everything I need inside me. I'm the magician, right? And I can move through any blocks in my life because the blocks are not actually outside of you, right? This is cross the sleeping energy right now. The blocks are all inside you, right? The universe is just a mirror for you. So if you're going through conflict and blocks in your life, then there's something blocked within you that needs to be liberated. 39 is the gift of liberation. So this is really about liberating the spirit, right? Liberating the spirit. That's what the liberating the spirit. That's what this new moon is about. And then it's giving us a little heads up about the solar plexus mutation that's coming. Okay. So let's go. I want to talk about, remember I talked about keys and locks last video, if you've watched that. I'm surprised it didn't get more views. I think the word meditation turned people off that just want the knowledge, you know. And I just want to say to people, it's not just about getting the information, right? We live at such a surface level, humanity. I just want the information and that's all I need. It's like, no, you need to integrate it. It's like you put food in your mouth and you don't chew it and digest it, right? Oh, I don't want to chew it and digest it. It's not yours. It just stays as a mental concept living up here. You want this knowledge. You want to bring it deep inside you, right? And really digest it and make it yours, right? This is not just about more and more information. So the meditation, and I would suggest that everyone have some kind of meditation or spiritual practice now, especially now. The meditation helps you to digest that information, and meditation actually raises your consciousness so that you can actually understand this knowledge, right? Because I've heard that from people, right? It's like, I didn't really get it. I didn't get what you were saying, and then years later, I come back and I understand, right? So, yeah, that's my little rant about doing a daily sadhana practice. Okay, so the keys and the locks. I'm just going to talk about the keys. So you can see if I go back to this, right, this global cycle pattern that we're in, there's keys and locks here. You can see this, right? There's all for the cross of planning. So the 37 has been a major key, and that means this is how life works for you. That key will work for you. Well, that key's not going to work for you anymore when we go to 2027. The new key is the 55. So this is a major theme on the planet. So we're moving from the old key of the 37. The 37 comes off the solar plexus that you can see here. And the 37 asks, will I get my needs met? And the cross of planning, the foundation, the root of the cross of planning is this channel, the 3740, this channel. This is the marriage channel. This is the bargain channel. So the 37 says, will I get my needs met? Right? And then, of course, it's yes. Yes, I'll get my needs met. I just have to get that 40 over there, that other person, to give me. It doesn't matter if you have this natally or not. I'm just talking about the collective energy, right? I just need to get the 40 to deliver, right? Deliver to me what I need. So I get that other person to give me what I need, and then I get my needs met. And then the 37 is like, I appreciate you, I give you affection, I bolster up your ego. This is the tribal consciousness, right? If you look at it like just traditionally husband and wife, For like tradition. Just look at it as an archetype. The 40 is the breadwinner. I go out and I work. The 37's at home, right? Home, taking care of the home and the children and whatnot, right? So there's this bargain. This bargain's breaking down for 2027. So now, and it's worked really well since 16/15/2027, but it's breaking down. So this key's no longer going to work, and there's going to be a new key, and we're going to feel it, and we're already feeling this breakdown. This, if you just look at it, the breakdown of the family, we're completely seeing that out in the world, and we can't stop it. We can't stop it because this is the divine plan. It's the divine plan because this is the old human. This supported the old human. Right? To keep the structures alive, to keep the family, be creating children, procreating, keep the species alive. The new human that's coming, the new human, which they call rave, they don't need this. They're not interested in this, the other, right? The other. So now, will I get my needs met? Is going to be answered with a big fat no. No. It will be answered with a no. Because the new human, the rave, they're self-sovereign. They're whole unto themselves. When you're whole unto yourself, you don't need the other. It's like the magician. I have everything I need inside me, right? So it doesn't mean that we're not going to be like giving to one another, but it's not going to be it won't be like an entitlement expectation like it has been before in the past. So the 55... and I've got lots more to say about this, but I'll talk way more about this in the retreat. So the 55, this is the new key, right? This is the new key. And so this is about spirit, right? This is about spirit. This is tribal. This is left. It's strategic, right? It's strategic. Everything was about strategy, about getting your needs met on the planet. And now this is rightness, right? If you got my recorded reading, you know what I'm talking about. Rightness, this is receptivity, right? It's in the now, it's present, right? It's individual. The 55 this is the age of the individual that's coming for the cross of, let me get me out of the way here so you can see that better. Okay. So the new key is the 55, right? The 55. And this is I'm a free spirit, right? I'm a free spirit. So this is what we have to start to embrace here, right? This 55, that I have everything that I need inside of me. And this is about getting in touch with your spirit awareness, right? That's what's going to be the most important. So, let's talk about so the 55 is related to the 39 because they're channel, right? Remember, I just talked about that. And so let's talk about this triggering. This is my big message, right? So in order to liberate your spirit, you need to be triggered. You need to be triggered. And so what's a trigger and what's not a trigger? So a trigger, right? So you have your own stuff. You've got your own wounding, right? Your own karmic wounding inside you, right? You've got your own stuck emotions that weren't integrated, right? From various traumas. We all have our traumas from childhood because we grew up in this not-self world, right? So we have all of that. And so this gets buried and repressed, right? Deeply buried and repressed, and it doesn't mean it goes away, right? It's within you. So to liberate your spirit, this has to go. This karmic wounding has to go, which is about your past. These stuck emotions have to go. This is also about your past, right? Because that solar plexus is a vortex into frequency. We're moving into frequency awareness, that spirit awareness, that we're energy. It's just everything is energy. So the trigger, right, this 39, that's provoking, right? Provoking is to liberate you from these limitations, to liberate you from this false identity, There's a false identity that gets created, and it's directly connected to this. Your karmic wounding, your stuck emotions, your defense patterns, right? Your defense patterns. So a trigger let's talk about relationships, right? Just to keep my focus here. So a relationship is a trigger, So this is a person that comes into your life. Let's say a person that comes into your life. They could be karmic, they could be a soulmate, they could be a twin flame. I'm going to talk about that in a second here. So the relationship comes into your life and triggers this, your wounding, your stuck emotions, your limitations, your shadows, things that you can't see, right? That's the mirror. The relationship is your mirror. Okay? It's your mirror. So what the ego does, your ego false identity, is to blame the mirror, right? So you can see how ridiculous this is. If you go into the bathroom and you don't like the reflection that you see, it's the mirror. I'm going to get rid of this mirror. I'm going to take this mirror off the wall and I'm going to smash it on the ground and I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy a new mirror. Is it going to change the reflection? No, because the reflection is neutral. That's your relationship. It's neutral. So the relationship didn't create what comes up, right? Discomfort comes up. Emotions come up, right? When you're triggered. And this is when it takes over. It's a takeover, right? You get hijacked by the ego, right? So there the ego is pointing, it's them, I need to get rid of them. They're the problem because they're making me feel this way. And it's like, no, those emotions have been with you long before you ever met that person. That person is actually serving you, right? To liberate you. This is the 39. We're going to see this energy more and more on the planet. But we live in this culture that has a deep fear of any kind of discomfort, right? It's like, get a pill. Go shop, go get distracted on social media, anything not to integrate this trigger. We're going to be getting triggered more and more and more. So we really have to embrace triggers in our life because we're not going to heal unless we're triggered, right? And the best way for a trigger to happen is through your relationships, right? Because the ego is not going to trigger itself. It won't trigger itself. And this is all to liberate your spirit. And have you ever gone through the end? Maybe you're like me. If somebody triggers me, man, I'm on them. Like, okay, this person is showing me something about myself, right? But it's neutral. I'm not going to blame that person. I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it to go back and look at myself. And this is what the Sleeping Phoenix is about, right? This is about going inward. Right? The 55 is to go inward. Not the 37, which is looking outside of yourself, right? This is like to go inward. This is total self-reliance, the 55. The 55 is very creative, right? There's creative impulses coming from here, and this is what we have to rely on, right? I'm a free spirit. I have everything I need inside me. All the resources are inside me. This is what we have to embrace. If you know this, you're not going to be looking to take and to strategize and manipulate to get your needs met by another, right? So that's the trigger. And so the solar plexus mutation is really about the Great Awakening. It's the 2027. It's the Great Awakening that's happening on the planet. And remember, some people are not going to choose this. They're going to choose to go with the sheep and the herd, right? And that's technology, right? And I love technology. I'm not bashing technology. I'll be on technology as long as I can, right? This is giving your power over to technology. This is saying things like, I hear this from people, oh, we're going to find God within technology, right? This is like total worship of false idols, right, of technology. Technology is a tool, but some people are going to go down this path and they'll get swirled around the drain and then down, right, and eliminated basically, right? So the Great Awakening for you And my prayer is everybody listening to me right now, in the future now, or now, present now, is that you choose this, right? You choose this. So here are the planetary trends that I can see that are related to this Great Awakening. Because we're not in ancient India anymore. We don't have the time to go and serve a master for 12 years, and then the master gives you a mantra or a meditation or some spiritual knowledge. We don't have that time anymore, right? So I really feel the divine is like giving us some major gifts here, right? So this is the sign of the solar plexus mutation. These are planetary trends. So one of them is the Kundalini rising. So that's the dormant energy that lives at the base of your spine that lies 2.5 cycles coiled around the base of your spine, and then it rises, right, up the chakras to awaken. Well, a Kundalini rising, spontaneous Kundalini rising, can come with spinal pain. If you have spinal pain or incurable health problems, these mystery health problems that they don't seem to have any cures. We're going to see more of that, right? And then anxiety and depression. So a lot of mental health issues. We're going to see that. That's a sign of the solar plexus mutation. And then these Aquarian relationships, right? So the modern term for Aquarian relationships are the twin flames. And so I've been keeping my eye on this twin flame phenomenon because there's a lot of new age BS about it. The twin flame is not about romance, and it's not about the Piscean version of what like a Victorian romantic novel is. If you're in a relationship with somebody and it's like, oh, it's so comfortable and we're in love and right and we get along so well, you're not with a twin flame, right? A twin flame is that mirror. It's a soulmate on steroids, basically. So the twin flame comes into your life, and we're going to see more and more of this. And I've seen it out I go through YouTube and I look at the trends, what's happening in the trends, and this twin flame phenomenon is really on the rise, especially with the younger generation, right? The millennials and the Gen Zs, and that we're seeing more and more of this. So I just want to talk about this because it's totally related to this 55. So the theme, remember, is moving from the 37 to the 55. And the 55.6, 2027, that kicks in. This is looking for the soulmate. So this is not looking for, oh, I need somebody to fulfill my needs. I need somebody to pay the bills, somebody who's a good parent. We can raise a family together. That's stable, blah, blah, blah. This is like, no, we won't be motivated for that anymore. We'll be motivated for the soulmate. And the soulmate is the person that you have a deep spiritual connection with. Because remember, we're going to be in this energy of I have everything I need inside me. I'm not looking to the other, right? The only, and this is the twin flame, is I'm looking to the other to awaken, right? So the twin flame, the Aquarian relationships, this is our new way of bonding. So the soulmate on steroids, and that mirror that I talked about, a regular person has the regular magnification. The twin flame has the magnification of 1,000,000 times, right? So you're basically seeing yourself completely magnified in that other person. So of course it can be really good. Right? You can see the beauty and the purity and the innocence of that other person, right? You can see the good, but then what kicks in is the shadows, and the deep wounding start to emerge in that mirror. And this is when people, they bolt, right? It's like, I can't handle the intensity of seeing myself, because the twin flame phenomenon, the Aquarian relationships, is really showing you your deepest wounding, like into the recesses of your unconscious, things that you're not even aware of. And there's the ego, it's blame, it's that person, right? That person's making me feel so uncomfortable. I can't be around them. Like energetically, I feel so like irritated and annoyed, right? So this particular relationship that we're going to see more and more is the deepest karmic wounding, right? That pain, and there's a pain, and this brings on the dark night of the soul. And so there's obsession, there's the psychic pain, right? And the only escape, and some people just live in this. Some people can't handle it, and they actually leave the planet because they can't handle this pain, right, of the dark night of the soul, because the ego has to die. There has to be an ego death in these relationships. So the only escape, and this is the cleverness of the divine, right? The only escape is to go to the soul and to surrender to the soul, and that's where there's peace. That's where there's peace. So, and of course, I'll be talking about this too, this twin flame phenomenon too, and the solar plexus mutation, so that people are aware of it, because you may be attracting that to you, and it's really a gift, right? It's really a gift, but the lesson is always, it's about surrender right now. It's about surrendering to your soul, right? For the Great Awakening. Okay. And let's do the tarot for the 55. 55 is not activated here, but the 55 is the 8 of Cups. So this is a theme according to tarot, right? So the 8 of Cups is to leave, right? To leave. So there's the 8 empty cups. This is no emotional fulfillment here, right? No spiritual fulfillment here in terms of your relationships. So this is the world, okay? So the 8 of Cups is Saturn in Pisces, and Saturn actually is in Pisces right now. So Saturn in Pisces, so Saturn is the world card, and then Pisces is the moon card. So this is completing, this is like a completion, it's like leaving the old world behind of this 8 of Cups energy. And this is the bargain, right? People in the past would get in relationships and they would compromise in relationships because of the bargain. Well, my partner gives me these things and I give this back to my partner, right? The bargain, a tribal bargain. Well, it's not going to be, right? The world card is saying this is coming to an end. And then it's to move through your fears, right? The moon is about your deepest fears, and to move on to the 9 of Cups, right? For emotional fulfillment. That's the 55 to your soul. Yeah. Okay. Let me see if there's any comments here. And then I'll go to readings. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, our spine is an energy staircase. Yeah. And all of our bones are connected to our ancestors. So this is what we're clearing too, right? All these ancestral memories that I talked about before. Yeah. Looking forward to the retreat. Yay. Okay. Yeah, it should be good. So let me do just some messages for everyone. And I'm assuming that you know your, at least you know your type. My sound's a little distorted. How is it now? Should be good now. Okay. Okay. So the generator. Okay. So 70% of the world are generators. And this is a really good time, generators, is to really look at the work that you're doing, right, on the planet, your contribution. What are you doing? Okay, people can hear just fine. That you're doing on the planet, because the generators are the workers, And are you contributing to the cross of planning? Are you being strategic? Are you thinking that these old structures are still going to be around and you're working from that paradigm, or are you embracing the new? Right? And so in order to do that, all you have to do is listen to your sacral, right? Your sacral. So that's that navel, right? That's your navel right there for the sacral. Right there. Right, your sacral. So this is your strategy generator, right? So that's going to communicate a yes or no. And it's a visceral response. It's trusting your gut. Trusting your gut. Not your mind, right? Your mind is an old tool. It's the horse and buggy. Just before the automobile comes, right? The horse and buggy is that mind that you have to start to not to let it go. We still use it. We still need our minds for things to navigate through time and space, but we don't give our authority over to our mind. That's what I mean when I say that, right? Is that our mind is to communicate, to research, to play, right? But it's not to make your decisions by. You want to really, really trust your gut, right? Okay. So I just want to pick 2 cards for the generators. There are the generators. What do we have for our generators? Tell me what we have for our generators. Let me help the generators. Okay. So generators, what's the block for the generators? Okay. And what's the guidance for the generators? Okay. Okay. So the generator, we're talking about the 39, the new moon. If you just jumped onto this part, so the new moon is activating the 39. That's the gate of provocation. And the great thing about the 39, it's about liberating you, right? It's about liberation from your blocks. So these are internal blocks. So it's time to get your attention and focus off the external world and trying to solve everything on the external and bring it back inward. This is the cross of the sleeping phoenix, is coming back inside and dealing with the block inside you, right? Whatever that block is inside you. So it could be a belief pattern, something that you maybe inherited from your ancestry, or stuck repressed emotions, right? It could be a lot of different things, but the work is really about going inside. In the time of looking outward for solutions, what I just talked about at the beginning of the video, looking outward for somebody else to come and solve this for you, those days are ending, right? Okay, so the card here, the block here, is the 5 of Swords in reverse. And then the guidance is the Ace of Pentacles. Okay. So this is about, the 5 of Swords is conflict. It's conflict. Competition. Right? It's also about self-sabotage, right? And it's about the mind, because it's the swords, right? So the block here for you could be that you're too busy focused on other people, not yourself. And so this is the old paradigm that we're leaving too, right? It's this whole idea of competition. And competition comes from scarcity consciousness. There's only so much. There's a limited amount for on the planet, and we've got to compete and fight for the crumbs, right? And get our crumb, get our piece of the pie. So this is a thing maybe that you have to let go of. Maybe this comes from your past life. Maybe you did have to compete, right? Maybe your ancestors had to compete to stay alive, you know? So it's letting go of any, you know what I say to people when they get into this competition energy is to really it's about your authenticity. If you leave with any message from me today, is to embrace your authenticity, right? And your authenticity is inside. You can count on your sacral to be a reflection of your authenticity. The yes or no is going to be a reflection of you as your authentic self. This is you being self-sovereign. That's right. There's no competition then, right? There's no competition because you're in your own lane. You want to stay in your own lane. And the thing is, generator, that nobody else can compete with you because you're you. Like I'm me. No one can compete with me because I'm me. There's only one me, right? And the same with you. You can't compete with me because you're you. You can't be a better me, you know? So this is what this is saying. It's to let go of your competition. Too busy looking around you. And this is how the ego and the mind can work too, generators. It's like, well, I can't do that. Maybe you're getting a sacral response of like, I really want to leave this job in this workplace, right? I don't feel like I'm still in that bargain energy, right? That tribal bargain energy, bargaining my time and energy in exchange for a paycheck, right? So that I can pay my bills. Maybe I'm still in that paradigm. I haven't embraced this new energy yet, right? Well, this is, where was I going with that? Okay, and your sacral says yes, right? And your sacral saying, yes, I want to go, I want to go, I want to go. But then your mind gets in there, your not self, and your not self is always rooted to the past. Your not self has nothing to do with the present moment. That's your authentic self, right? Your authentic self, generator, is the now moment. This is what we have to embrace, the now moment. This is the sleeping phoenix energy. This is the past is like the cross of planning. It's strategy, right? It's all about, well, this worked in the past, so this will work in the future. That's not going to work anymore, right? So back to this is I have a new opportunity because you've got the Ace of Pentacles. This is your guidance. So you've got a new opportunity that's being presented to you. Your sacral says yes. You're getting a go. Your strategy says yes, 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 yes. Right? And then you're going. And then the mind, the not self comes in. Well, no, well, it's already covered. Somebody else does that better than me. And what did I just say at the beginning of my video? With sound. Right? I'll go on like YouTube, for example, and I'll know there's a part of me. It's like, oh, that person has some really good information that I would love to know, and I try to listen, and I can't. It feels like nails on a chalkboard. No disrespect to that person, but I can't listen to them. I can't listen to them, right? So this would be, you know. And maybe you're like that with me. I've had that people say that to me. Like, I really understand human design a lot better listening to you. Am I special? No. It's I have my own unique way of expression. And the same with you. So you can't go, oh, it's already covered. Some people are not going to receive it, especially if they're not on your fractal line, right? Your soul tribe. They're going to receive it from you. So this is what you need to get rid of. And the easy way to get rid of this is listen to your sacral and don't listen to your mind to make your decisions, right? Because this right here for this new moon is saying that a big opportunity is coming for you. New opportunity, abundance, because it's a pentacle, right? And it's for you, right? It's for you. Because the opportunities are correct for you. They're correct for you. They may not be correct for other people, but they're correct for you. So it's really a time to walk in faith and trust, right? In the divine. Yeah. And work through this this obstacle, right? The 39. It's like it's time to liberate yourself from this old paradigm. Trust in your spirit, right? The 55, trust in your spirit. Yeah. So that's what I would say. I mean, it's really time for all of us to start embracing this new consciousness. Like, get off that Titanic, the cross of planning that's sinking to the bottom of the ocean, and then really embrace this new consciousness. Yeah, and you'll be fine. It's talked about in human design. Ra talked about that. Okay. Your authenticity is what's going to protect you and keep you safe. Okay. So that's the generators. Okay. Is my mic okay now? Sound is really important to me. Okay. I hear you fine. Maybe you're too close to the mic. Yeah. I'm going to turn the gain down maybe a little bit more. Like that. Okay. I think I'm modulating my voice too. A little bit. But always pipe in about my sound, because that's really, really important to me. Because I actually have the 55 myself. I have that whole channel, the 3955. Okay. Let's go for a manifesting generator here. It sounds raspy. I sound raspy. Okay, we're going to do the manifesting generators. Okay. Okay, so MGs, this is all about the new moon on July 5th. That's activating the 39. And my message is really to embrace the triggers. But go listen to the beginning of the video to learn more about the 39, because it's a major player in the solar plexus mutation. Okay. So the MGs. What do we have for our manifesting generator friends? Manifesting generator friends. Please help me with the manifesting generators, please. Manifesting generators, please. Manifesting generator. What's their block? What's their block? What's the manifesting generator's block, please? And what's their guidance? Okay. So, the manifesting generator has kind of a similar one to the generators, which is the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands there. Whenever you get fives in the tarot, that's always conflict. Fives are never good numbers. But you can transmute, right? You can transmute this energy. And then the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups there, right there. Okay. So the MG, remember, manifesting generators, that your strategy is to listen to that sacral. It's to listen to your sacral, communicating to yes or no. It's going to be very visceral, right? Your yes or no. And then because you're an MG, you respond with a yes. We're just talking about strategy here, right? So you respond with a yes or no. And then if you respond with a yes or the no, you ask yourself the next question, which is, who will this impact? Who will this decision impact? And then I share with that person, right? But it comes from response, because you're not a manifestor, right? A pure manifestor. You're a manifesting generator. Okay. So this is saying the block that you have to let go of has to do with conflict. So you're either in conflict, if you're in conflict outside with other people, say you're in conflict with another person or people, right? You're fighting, you're arguing about things, right? You have to go inside. Remember, the sleeping phoenix is all about going inside. Where is that conflict? Because the conflict is just being, the trigger is outside of you, right? It looks like the trigger is outside of you with other people, but the trigger is actually coming from inside you. That's what the 39 says. That's the block that wants to be liberated for this new moon. So you go inside, and you probably have a headache. Headaches are also a manifestation of some kind of conflict that's going on inside you. It has to get expressed, right? Because the mirror doesn't lie, right? Life is providing you the mirror and the reflection of what's actually going on inside you. So if you're in conflict with other people, then it means you're in conflict with yourself. And I'm going to tell you right now, the conflict for most people on the planet here is this old identity, right? This person that you believe you were, and then this new identity that wants to emerge. And this is you, your authentic self, right? So this is the conflict, the fight that we're all going through, is letting go of this old way. So we have to let go of this old identity, right? But a lot of people want to cling on to it because, well, at least I know. I'd rather know the devil I know better than, rather than the one that I don't know, right? To hold on to some kind of security. Because this new time for the sleeping phoenix is like to really embrace the unknown, right? That's what we're embracing, the unknown, the uncertainty. And this has always been the truth, but we haven't been aware of it because it's been clouded, right? By our conditioning in this world, this not self world. So identity, so these old identities. So that's what I would say. Don't go, well, I've got to make peace with these people. No, you've got to make peace with yourself, right? You either live in peace or you live in pieces. So it's bringing the letting go. That's all I see here is just letting go of this old identity, this old person that you believe yourself to be, right? And it can create a lot of tension. And you'll be amazed, right? When you really look at life in this way, that the micro, macro, the inner, the outer reflects the inner, is suddenly you won't be in conflict with other people because you won't need to see that reflection, right? That trigger back, right? Getting triggered. And then, so the old identity, new identity, and this is apathy, right? The Four of Cups is apathy. Right? The Four of Cups is like, I'm so focused on these three empty cups. And meanwhile, the divine is giving me this opportunity. Here. But apathy, this is ego. Right? It's like, oh, poor me. I'm on the pity potty. Nothing ever works for me. Right? I'm just focused on the losses in my life and not seeing the opportunity. And this is spiritual opportunity. This is new, right? We're talking new energy. If it's old energy and you can smell the mothballs on it, that's not sleeping phoenix energy. That's like a test, right? In terms of identity again. The old identity, oh, I know this. I'm going to cling to this, right? It's like, no, it's going to bring more and more conflict with you. So feeling disconnected, melancholy, boredom, indifference, right? Indifference, basically cut off, right? From your emotions. So the 39 wants to liberate you, right? And it's liberating you out of this apathy, right? This apathy. This, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to sit and whine on the pity potty. And then it's going to release the joy. There's a lot of joy in the solar plexus, right? This is how we're supposed to be This is what it means to be alive, right? Be a life. It's like I'm feeling this passion again for life, right? So the new moon is like it's time to break out of that, and you break out of that by moving out of conflict, right? So an old identity, the past, letting all that go and just embracing the new. That's what I see there. What else for the MGs? And maybe just, take a moment to reflect and close your eyes, and it's like, what's the opportunity that's right there in front of me that my intuition is screaming to take? My sacral is like screaming yes to this. What am I not seeing? And the thing is, when you close your eyes and just take a moment, right, to reflect, the divine will answer you through your intuition, and you'll know exactly where to go, right? So you want to be trusting that sacral. 100% trust that sacral. Yeah. Okay. Hermes, you said you're an MG, right? Yeah. So Hermes has the 39. And so you've got a birthday coming up, 39.2. Personality sun. So you know this. So if you have the 39 natally, you're going to understand this. I have this 39 myself. Yeah. And so the 39, just in my own experience, it's like being shaken awake, when your alarm clock is going off and you're not hearing it, and your partner's like, get up. That's the 39, right? The 39 is provoking. Get up, wake up. That's what the 39 wants for you, MGs. Wake up. Come on, wake up. What are you doing? You're sleeping. You're in this apathy energy. You're sleeping your life away, right? So, what else? Anything else for the MGs? I think to trust, that's the message I'm getting, is trust that when you go, because this is the 55, right? The 8 of Cups. When you leave what's making you unhappy, so it's really about getting in truth. This time is about getting into your truth, your authenticity, and start to be honest with yourself first. So be honest with yourself first. Write it in the journal. Maybe nobody needs to see it. And just get it out. I'm really unhappy with this. I'm not happy. I feel like I'm not really living my life, right? I'm not feeling the joy. I'm not feeling the passion. I'm just like treading water, basically, right? That's this apathy and boredom. And just to get it out, that will even move the energy, right? With the 39, just to get it on paper, just to write it out. But trust. When you really move from your strategy with the yes or no, and you just trust, right? I'm trusting my intuition. I'm going to move forward one step into the unknown, and I will be supported. Because this is the sleeping phoenix. I'm relying on myself. I'm not relying on other people. I'm relying on my own innate self, right? My spirit, my soul. Okay, great. Okay, so let's go for the manifestors. Right there. And pipe up if you're a manifestor, even on the replay. So manifestors, we're talking about the new moon activating the 39, and it has a major player for the solar plexus mutation. So watch the beginning of the video. Okay. What do we have for our manifestor friends? 2, and then 3. Okay, so what do we have for our manifestor friends? What do we have for our manifestor friends? Please help me to help their manifestor friends. So what's the block for the manifestors? What's the block for the manifestors? And what's the guidance for the manifestors? The manifestors up at night worrying, right there, the 9 of Swords. This is the mental anxiety that I talked about. And then the way out is that 9 of Swords. So the 9 of Swords, so the new moon energy manifestors wants you to bust a move, right? To bust a move out of this, let me see. I want you to be able to see the 39. There we go. There we go. That's better. So there's the 39 coming off the root. So watch the beginning of the video to learn more, because this is a major player in this solar plexus mutation that's coming in 2027. So this is wants to liberate you. That's the gift. Wants to liberate you from your mind. Right? From your mind, basically. So this is fear, anxiety, the 9 of Swords. It's negativity, it's despair, it's isolation. So something that you've been worrying about, that you're in your head about. Right? And when you're in this 9 of Swords energy, you can't receive. Remember that your strategy is to receive divine inspiration, right? Divine inspiration. And then you ask yourself, okay, who's this going to impact? And then you go and share, and then you initiate. And then you manifest. That's what a manifestor does. So when you're in your head worrying, the noise box is on super loud. It's like having a TV set in your head going nonstop 24/7 with all the fear. Well, what if that happened and this happened? And I'm worried about this, and I'm worried about tomorrow. What's going to happen to me tomorrow? You can't listen, can you? The divine can't get through, right? With the inspiration. So it creates tension and worry, right? So meditate. Meditate is your medication. Meditate. I talked about this at the beginning. I've got free meditations on my website. Meditation, because this is one of the signs of the solar plexus mutation, is anxiety. We're going to see more and more anxiety on the planet, right? Worry. And remember, worry is praying for something bad to happen to you. So you want to get out of this by meditation, by relaxing, by not listening to the mind, right? So maybe get your journal out for some self-care. What do I need to do to self-care? Maybe I need to be off social media for a while to give my mind a rest, so that it's not so activated all the time. Bringing myself more into the present moment, right? Really embrace this new consciousness of the sleeping phoenix, which is all about being in the now moment, right? The now moment. Yeah. And usually the mind finds the present moment really boring. It doesn't like the now moment, right? So bringing yourself, you can do that even with your breath, right? Yeah. And then the guidance here is the Knight of Swords. So this is bust a move. So this may be also, let's look at it a different way. Maybe you have received inspiration, right? Maybe you have got that divine download, right? But immediately you go into this energy of the worry. You start questioning the divine. That's what you're doing. Well, how's that going to work? Well, what about this? What about that? And then you're in the fight. You're like the manifesting generator. You're in conflict with yourself. So the Knight of Swords is about being assertive, direct. This would be like a manifestor card, right? The Knight of Swords. So making sure, like, that's your strategy. If you have an emotional authority, For instance, you want to make sure that your wave comes to still, but then it's to bust a move, right? So this is the Knight of Swords to me is then you go communicate, then you go inform, right? You inform others about what you're doing. And those are the people that are going to be impacted by your initiation. Yeah. Ambitious, focused. Yeah. So this is about movement. The Nine of Swords is about movement. It's time for you to move for this. And this is going to liberate you because it's the 39, right? The new moon. It's going to liberate you out of this paralysis. Nine of Swords is paralysis. There's no movement here. It's just I'm on my bed in my head. I'm in this false delusion. I'm in a fantasy world, a horror show of my own making. And this is like I'm moving forward. I'm trusting. I'm a manifestor. You got to put that on your bathroom mirror, right? Whenever you get into anxiety and fear, it's like, God damn it, I'm a manifestor. I need to remind myself I'm a manifestor. Every type wants to be a manifestor, except the manifestors. Okay? So this is using your mind to move forward, to share, because a lot, in terms of manifestors, you receive a lot from your mind, right? Out of all the types, it's just you. So you want your mind nice and clear. Yeah. And once the thing is, once you really embrace your soul purpose, and that soul purpose is going to involve service, right? That idea is going to serve many, not just you. Once you just make that baby step forward, right? And then the momentum starts to build, right? And your mind will get clearer and clearer and clearer. Right now, you're allowing a space for that ego. It's like, come on into my head, ego, do your thing, right? Just have big craps in my head, right? With all this, the fear and the anxiety and all of that. Come on in, you're the one inviting it in. It's like, it's time to kick it out. And you do that by making that first step, right, to your soul purpose. And then it will build. The energy will build a momentum, right? Okay. So that's what I have for the manifestors. And then let's go for... okay. Okay. So where are we at now? We're at the projector type. I'll put this down here. So projectors, if you've just jumped on, we're talking about the new moon activating the 39. And so I would really suggest that you listen to the beginning of the video because the 39 is a major player for this solar plexus mutation. So you can see that it comes off the root. And the gift here for this new moon is to liberate you out of a block. And the block comes, the origins of the block is internal. Okay. So remember the strategy of the projector is to wait to be recognized by the other and then to be invited to help guide the other types. Okay. So be sure to let me know in the comments, even if you're watching this on the replay, is if you have the 39 natally. The 39 or the 55. The 55 is huge in terms of solar plexus mutation. Okay. Okay. What do we have for our projector friends? And then one more for the projectors. Okay. What do we have for our projector friends? Please help me with our projector friends. Please help me with our projector friends for the block. And then what's the guidance? Okay. Okay. So in terms of the block, the projector got the Seven of Cups, and then the guidance is the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. So liberation. And so the Seven of Cups can be addictions, because it's about fantasy, right? So whatever takes you away from this present now moment, that would be an addiction. Like, I don't want to feel this bitterness, right? Because that's the not self projector. So I'm going to escape that feeling by going into addictions. So this is liberating you from addictions, but also fantasy, right? The Seven of Cups can also be fantasy and wishful thinking. Illusions and daydreams. So this is also, especially with Neptune, right? Neptune and Saturn are going retrograde this weekend. And Neptune's on the 29th degree, which is a critical degree. So that's it, can bring up a lot of fantasies where you're not seeing things clearly. So, okay, so let's look at the guidance is the Queen of Pentacles. And this is about taking care of yourself. So I would say with the Seven of Cups that you may be too focused on the other. And this is the thing with projectors, right? Because we are here to help guide the other. We are interested in learning about the other, right? The other, we need the other, and the other needs us, right? So this energy, I feel like this energy is like, don't be toppling too much into, like, it doesn't say codependence, the Seven of Cups, but a codependence with the other, right? Which is an emotional attachment. So maybe this is what's going to be liberated for you for this new moon, is to let this old pattern go. Especially if this is colored in right now. But if this is open, like, check your natal chart. If the splenic awareness system is open, the not self would be like clinging too long in this relationship, right? Or living situation too, right? So I think I talked about this before. Like, if you come, and this is defined, right? We're in this transit for quite a bit because where's Jupiter 16.4 and the South Node's 48.2. This is already defined, right? But if you come into contact with somebody who's got this colored in and yours is open, that the not self will, like, I need that person to feel secure, right? I need that person to feel secure because you're feeling the security, right? If you have an open splenic awareness system, you don't feel secure in the world. This is like feeling safe and secure in the world. So the Seven of Cups is maybe your mind is tricking you a little bit here. There's Venus and Scorpio, and Scorpio can be deceptive. Yeah, wanting things to be a certain way and not seeing the reality, right? The reality. So maybe you've got some people in your life like that. I'm not seeing them in truth. I'm not seeing them with sober eyes. I'm seeing them through this Seven of Cups rose-colored glasses energy. Because you can see, you can't really see what's in the cup, right? There's jewels in one cup, there's monsters in other cups, right? So go back to your strategy, right? Is I'm going to wait to be recognized, commit to that. I'm going to commit to my strategy. I'm going to wait to be recognized, right, for my gifts and talents as a projector, and then I wait to be invited. And then I wait to be invited, right? Because this is like, oh, I'm going to choose this. I'm going to choose this cup with a monster in it, and I can't see it clearly. It's like, no, you have to wait. Am I going to be invited and recognized? Then the fantasy can't reach you, right? Because it's about truth now, right? That's what your authentic self is, your truth. And your truth as a projector is you are here to guide the other types, right? You're here to guide to the other types, and it's not about the mind and getting lost into the fantasy of the mind. So the guidance here is to get away any fantasy that you're in, right? Is to, and they talk about this actually in the Aquarian age, because we're the frequency of the planet is changing and shifting. And so there's different things that they talked about that humanity would go through. And one is like to go into some kind of fantasy to escape, right? To escape the pain. Escape the pain of this emptiness, right? The emptiness that we feel, which is really our self, but it's the ego. This is the ego death, right? When it's faced with that emptiness, it's very painful for the ego to go into the self, right? Because it's this emptiness and void, right? It's very, very lonely and loneliness. So, yeah, and Seven of Cups could be, like I said, addictions, getting too locked into like Netflix and things like that, going into some kind of wishful thinking and not out of the present moment. So you want to be in the present moment as a projector. Yeah, present moment. And the guidance is to take care of yourself, right? The Queen of Pentacles takes care of herself. So taking care of your home, comforting yourself, practical, sensible, nurturing, caring towards yourself, right? So maybe you're waiting for an invitation, but it's not coming. It's not coming. So not into fantasy world, in the present moment and taking care of yourself. Yeah. And ground it, right? Queen of Pentacles is earth energy. It's earth energy, Virgo. So if you have Virgo in your chart, look where you have Virgo in your chart. Where does Virgo rule? Which house? That's what to focus on. This is like organizing, home body, just taking care of your own self. Not getting lost into some fantasy that somebody else is going to do that for you. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that's the projector. And then let's go for the reflector. And please let me know if you're a reflector, because you're only 1%. Right? Only 1% of the world are reflectors. So reflectors, we're talking about the new moon is activating the 39. And this has a major, major player. It's the gate of provocation. And it's provoking the emotions of the other to liberate the spirit. So it's a theme. It's actually a big theme for the solar plexus mutation. Okay. What do we have for our reflector friends? 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 reflector friends? What do we have for our reflector friends? Please let me help the reflector friends. Please let me. In the block for the reflector, and the guidance for the reflector is this one. Ooh. The reflector got the Devil card. The Devil card. And then the Page of Cups. This is a little bit of the projector energy, actually. You can see this. So you're being liberated. So reflectors, the opportunity here is the 39 is liberation. So liberation from some kind of block. So the projector is being liberated from fantasy, and you're being liberated from the devil. From the devil. So this is, devil energy is really the ego, right? It's egoic energy. That's all it is. And so this is addictions. This can be addictions. Obsession. And dependency on the other. So letting go of any of that. Something that's toxic, right? The devil represents toxic. Represents some kind of limitation that you're going through as a reflector. So remember, you're following the cycles of the moon. So you're going to really feel this when we get to the 39 on July 5th or sooner. I'm not sure when the 39 gets activated. Probably the 3rd or probably the 2nd, July 2nd, around that time. Maybe earlier, because it's usually a line a day, right? You're going to start to feel this energy. And the great thing is that it's the 6th line. So that's like the tippy top, right? Because you go 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6. Yeah. So to let that go, the 6th line is like letting it go for good. So the Capricorn, right? Capricorn, maybe it's with a Capricorn, the person has Capricorn in their chart, but letting that go. And you do this, the guidance is you do this by the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups. So this is your innocence, right? It's your childlike self. So it's not like childish, it's your innocence. The 25. The 25 is activated too with Neptune. Your sensitivity, your innocence, your inner child. Yeah. So something's being liberated. And isn't that interesting? It's so biblical, isn't it? To embrace your innocence, to break out of this devil energy that you've been in. You're being liberated from this through your innocence. So what you do, so I would say, is to look at, get more in touch with your inner child. What is your inner child? Go back to your childhood. What did my inner child like to do? As a reflector, right? Out in nature. Maybe you like to be out in nature, right? By the beach, by the ocean. Maybe playing, right? Playful. Being around children too will help with this energy and letting this go. There's a thought that's really close. Yeah. Maybe you're in some kind of toxic relationship, or maybe you've been in a toxic relationship in the past, but it still has a hold on you. It's to really, really open up to letting this go with this 39, to liberate yourself from that. Anything else for the reflectors with this, with the 39? No, that's all I'm getting. Oh, I know. It's to embrace your idealism too. Again. Right? That devil energy can really limit your perception of what life is, your worldview, reflectors. It's really to embrace your idealism and your innocence again. Yeah. Especially if you got one of my recorded readings, if your motivation is innocence, right? Like just moving through the world without an agenda, just being surprised and delighted. That's your signature as a reflector. Not disappointed, right? Not letting this energy affect your essence, right? As a reflector. Okay. Anything else for the reflectors? No, that's all I got. Okay. Okay, everybody. That's it for my message. And I'll probably do another video before Friday, because the Friday is the day of the retreat, and I want to get another video out. Okay? So be sure to watch my previous video if you haven't, where I talked about locks and keys. And yeah, just keep embracing your authenticity and trusting the impulses of your soul, and not get trapped, because we're going to see quite the gong show happening, especially when Pluto's coming back into Capricorn in the fall, and to not get trapped. Because remember, one of our main purposes on this planet is to transcend the Maya. And transcending the Maya doesn't mean like I just escape and I'm above the clouds. It means you're in the world, but not of the world, right? You're the lotus that sits above the mud. Okay, so remember that. And really embrace your strategy and authority this week, and see where it takes you. Okay, so I will see you soon. Okay, Sat Nam Aloha, everybody.